We're going to go to 1 Kings 8 and 49. It says, then hear thou their prayer and their supplication in heaven, thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause. And it's a prayer. And King Solomon is one of the wisest kings ever to live. He telling the Most High to hear our prayer and our cry to him in the land of our captivity, the land of our enemies. Asking the Most High to hear our prayer and our cry in heaven, the Most High's dwelling place, and maintain our cause for what it is that we ask for and need. Proverbs 28 and 9. Proverbs 28 and 9. You have to be sincere and diligent. Proverbs 28 and 9. And follow these instructions. He's giving us instructions. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer is abomination, shall be abomination. Filthy wicked act. All you out there that say we ain't got to follow the law of the Most High, so your prayer is abomination. You praying all night long, but you saying that we ain't got to follow the law. You saying we ain't got to follow the Most High? Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He said your prayer is abomination. Hear what it says. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be abomination. Your prayer is abomination. A filthy wicked act in the eyes of the Most High. Look it up. First Kings 8 and 50. This is from the five prayer that Solomon's praying for we the children of Israel. And forgive thy people that have sinned against thee, and all their transgressions wherein they have transgressed against thee, and give them compassion before them who carried them captive, that they may have compassion on them. It's crying out to the Most High. Now we look at I know Cyrus, he had compassion on us in captivity. Allowed us to build the temple. Look at I believe it's Ezra's first chapter. Ezra's 1 and 1. Now in the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, that the word of the Most High by the mouth of Jeremiah might be fulfilled, the Most High stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia, because the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, that he made a proclamation throughout all his kingdom, and put it also in writing, saying, thus says Cyrus, king of Persia, the Most High power of heaven have given me all the kingdoms of the earth. See, it now is in the Most High. That's why you look at these Gentiles, yeah. They are part of the ones that's going to the kingdom of Cyrus. See what he's doing. Thus says Cyrus, king of Persia, Most High power of heaven have given me all the kingdoms of the earth. And he hath charged me to build him an house at Jerusalem, which is in Judah. Who is there among you of all his people? You see, he's not acknowledging himself as his people. He know who we are. His God, his power, be with him. And let him go up to Jerusalem, which is in Judah, and build the house of the Most High, power of Israel. He is the power. which is in Jerusalem. See? And whosoever remaineth in any place where he sojourneth, let the men of his place help him with silver, and with gold, and with goods, and with beasts, besides the free will offering for the house of the Most High that it is in Jerusalem. See? So, you have an opportunity. You see how we were shown favor. And when there was a bet concerning what is the greatest, or who is the greatest, what is the greatest, and men were putting forth their understanding of what's great. One said, wine. Another said, the king. Another said, women and the truth. And the one that said, women and the truth, won over all. And he won, and guess what he asked for? Because he could have got many things that the king offered him, but this is what he asked for. When you go to 1 Ezra 4, and 45. First Ezra 4:45. He could ask for, because you're going to offer him many things. For, because they said the truth. Nothing surpasses the truth. It's stronger above all. First Ezra 4:45, it says, thou also hast vowed to build up the temple which the Edomites, so-called Caucasian people, burned when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldeans, or the Babylonians, the Cushites, the Ethiopians. So he said, this is what I want. I want you to build up the temple which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldeans. And now, O Lord, the King, this is that which I require, that which I desire of thee, that this is the princely, literally proceeding from thyself. I desire therefore that thou make good the vow, the performance whereof with thine own mouth thou hast vowed to the King of heaven. See? Then Darius, the king, stood up and kissed him, and wrote letters for him unto all the treasurers and lieutenants and captains and governors, that they should safely convey on their way both him and all those that go up with him to build Jerusalem. He wrote letters also unto the lieutenants that were in Seleucia and Phoenix, and unto them in Lebanus, which is North Africa, that they should bring cedar wood from Lebanus unto Jerusalem, and that they should build the city with him. Moreover, he wrote for all the Jews that went out of his realm up into Jewry, which is Jerusalem, concerning their freedom, that no officer, no ruler, no lieutenant, nor treasurer should forcibly enter into their doors, that all the country which they hold should be free without tribute, without paying taxes, and that the Edomites should give over the villages of the Jews which then they held. Told Edomites to give up the lands the villages that they held, that were our lands. Yeah, that there should be yearly given 20 talents to the building of the temple until the time that it was built, and other 10 talents yearly to maintain the burnt offerings upon the altar every day, as they had a commandment to offer 17. And that all they that went from Babylon to build the city should have free liberty, as well they as their posterity and all the priests that went away. He wrote also concerning the charges and the priests' vestments wherein they minister, and likewise for the charges of the Levites to be given them until the day that the house was finished and Jerusalem builded up. And he commanded to give to all that kept the city pensions and wages, pay them for their work. He sent away also all the vessels from Babylon that Cyrus had set apart, and all that Cyrus had given in commandment, the same charge he also to be done, and sent unto Jerusalem. Now when this young man was gone forth, he lifted up his face to heaven toward Jerusalem, hear that? And praised the King of heaven, praised the Most High, and said, From thee cometh victory, from thee cometh wisdom, and thine is the glory, and I am thy servant. Blessed art thou, who hast given me wisdom, for to thee I give thanks, O Most High, power of our fathers. And so he took the letters and went out, and came unto Babylon, and told it all his brethren. And they praised the Most High of their fathers, because he had given them freedom and liberty to go up to build Jerusalem and the temple, which is called by his name. And they feasted with instruments of music and gladness 7 days. So we had a good time for 7 days. We was able to build the temple. That's why I say when you look at certain captivity we were in, you will show favor. Now we're not showing favor at all. So there's a judgment that's going to come. See, that's clearly favor from the Most High. But, you know, he could have hardened his heart like he did Pharaoh, but he didn't. You see, Pharaoh was like anybody that once, you know, they had be through Daniel's partners, 3 partners into the lion's den. No, into the fire. Put them in the fire. Put Daniel in the lion's den. He said, ain't nobody talk against the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Their power. When he seen what happened, they came out of there. He couldn't even smell smoke on them. It was just like they had never went into the fire. He gave all praise to the Most High. He said, anybody talk against the Most High, he gonna make their house and them a dunghill. Straight up. That's like a toilet. Like an outhouse. See? So, through it all, you see many case scenarios where and then he set Daniel up. Set Daniel up. And Daniel set up his partners. Once he was set up. You see? Joseph the same way. He became the Pharaoh once Pharaoh died. And we were there as Israelites. Jeremiah 51 and 6. Jeremiah 51 and 6. We ruled Egypt. That's when Egypt was powerful, when we ruled for 4 dynasties. Jeremiah 51 and 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. This is the time of the Most High's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. So you look at this, and some men have used this to say you got to leave America. But the main thing we got to look at, you got to come out of the mindset. Because see, it's no different than when he told us in Revelation 18:4. Don't get caught up in the mindset in being Edomanized or Hammanized or Elamanized or Ishmaelized or any other nationized. But mainly, if you're in America, you've been Edomanized because it's their curriculum that they have set up for everybody to follow. Revelation 18:4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people." Come out of where? Go to verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, this mighty angel, saying, "Babylon the great is fallen. Is fallen and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, breaking all the laws of the Most High." Habitation of devils here. A cage of every unclean and hateful bird. See? That's why he said, verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins." See? That you be not partakers of her sins. You know, men with men, women with women, changing men to women, and accepting all the things that say you can eat. Pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, catfish, everything to eat doo-doo. You are what you eat, bunch of doo-doo eaters. You ain't nothing but a bunch of doo-doo. Well, that's a word. But that's what it's, I mean, that's what it say. That you be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. He gonna plague this place. He gonna plague. He gonna bring plagues on it. You ain't seeing what he's doing. You see what he did to Ephraim. You see what he did to Houston. See what he did when them levees broke. Oh, it's gonna get worse and worse and worse. He gonna show up. And when he come to show off, he gonna show out. Believe that. All praise to the Most High. All praise to him. See, people have forgot about the things that you have learned. You better remember. You better be looking at things and trying to relate it to the word of the Most High before it's too late. That's why it say, "For her sins have reached under heaven." What's sin? We went over that. 1 John 3:4. Sin is a transgression of the Most High's law. So they have broken the Most High's laws, and their sins have reached under heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities. That's why it said, come out of the mindset. And you'll see. That's what it's talking about. That's why it says, Jeremiah 51:6 says, "Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul." That's your body. "Be not cut off in her iniquity." See? There it is right there. Be not cut off in her sins. The things that you see that's abominable. Like they got all these different so-called high-powered producers in the movie industry coming out in the music industry, all the industry. Politics. All these women come and say they've been sexually molested, and boys and men. That's iniquity. That's crazy. Don't know what to do with yourself. So you're gonna mess with little boys. Then they get grown and confront you, then you're gonna apologize. Are you serious? You done mess people up for life. People have to deal with that. Believe me, as a priest, I'm telling you. The things I've heard. People that went through. I feel for them. It's my people, I'm saying. But now you're exposing your own. It don't feel good, do it? No, it don't feel good. That's why I said we got to flee out of the mindset of all this wickedness that's going on in this world. Especially here in America. It says, "Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her sins." See? Don't get cut off because you in the sins that she perpetrated. I tell you, it's set up to send you straight to hell. You know, you look up Edom in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, say Edom is the only neighbor of the Israelites that was not given any promise of mercy from the Most High. And give scriptures to back it up. You see? So knowing that, and you're going to follow what it is that they're doing and sinning, what do you think you're going to get? Same thing. No mercy from the Most High. Mercy only coming to the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel anyway. 2/3 of you ain't nothing but some chocolate covered Edomites anyway. That's all you are. And I don't care if it's family or anyone. You better repent and come back to the Most High before it's too late. And that's to all our families of Israel. Hear or forbear, but you know that you heard. Listen. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Most High's vengeance. You know? You're going to be caught off in her iniquities, her sins that she's doing, saying it is all right, excusing it. This is the time of the Most High's vengeance. He will render upon her a recompense. See? He's going to pay her back. He's going to give her a reward. Reward her for what she have done. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Most High's hand. You can see it. Golden city. You fly, you look down, you see them look like gold all in the land. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Most High's hand that made all the earth drunken, influenced them by this Western society way. You know, the nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. See, they drank of her wine, her influenced by them. That's why they mad. They're gonna be crying when they see the burning of Babylon. There ain't nothing they can do about it. Look. Look at that. Revelation 17:3. Well, let's start at 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials of destruction and talked with me, saying unto me, Come thither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with wine of her fornication. See? Influenced by the wickedness, the abominations that is being brought about. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast. Scarlet is what? Red-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. The Greeks, the Romans, the Spanish, the French, the Germans, the Russians, the British. The 10 horns are the European community or the European Economic Community, called NATO now, but I mean it's still, you know, you can change it up all you want to, but initially you know it was 10 nations that supported the beast. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color. Royalty, you know, that purple supposed to mean royalty. And that scarlet color is that red. And decked with gold and precious stones and pearl, rich, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations, having this what the fornication that they have drunk of, and that wine, the influence of America has done, full of what? Abominations and filthiness of her fornication. See? That's her. That's why he tells her, come out of her, come out of the mindset, so you don't get caught up in being wicked and fall with it. Because it's going down. Hopefully you'll be part of the one that's going to be blessed. Most High will. But you got to endure to the end. This ain't some time to thing. You got to be doing this every day. How much time do we have? Do you know? No. Look at Revelation 14 and 8, another one pertaining to how her fornication is spread. It says, and there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. So this is what she did. Made all nations drink of the wine or the influence of the wrath of her fornication. I mean, America's everywhere. What other country is everywhere? You're talking about the Arabs or Edomites. Get the hell out of here, because you won't see no Arabs have missionaries and embassies in all different nations. Come on. Prove it. Where they at? This is Esau's world. So-called white man's world. This is time to rule. And you ain't taking that from them to give it to no Arabs. I don't think so. This is time. But see, if you don't know, then you don't know. That's something. That's just another diversion, take you away from the real. I mean, everybody have opportunity to rule. You just got to rule in righteousness. You're not ruling righteousness, then there's a judgment. That's why the Most High said his eyes are upon the simple kingdom. That's Amos 9 and 8. So tell me what it is you can look at that's so righteous about America. Listen, Amos 9 and 8. Behold, the eyes of the Most High power are upon the sinful kingdom. What's a sinful kingdom? A sinful kingdom is a kingdom that is not following the law, statute, commandments of the Most High. Now, you Jewish people, y'all have, the Jewish people have the Torah that they say they believe in, the Tanakh, the Old Testament they believe in. But what you need the Talmud and the Kabbalah, what you use witchcraft and all this sorcery and all this other stuff for? It has nothing to do with the Torah. So you still got to be dealt with too. So behold, the eyes of the Most, according to as it is written, behold, the eyes of the Most High power are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. Saving, you're going to save somebody, that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, said the Most High. And 1/3 of us going to make it. He's going to tell you this 1/3 right here. For lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations. He's going to sift us among all nations. Because we scattered among all nations. So he's going to sift us from among all these nations. Like as corn is sifted in the sea, yet shall not the least, you see, grain fall upon the earth. So the least is 1/3. 3/3 make a whole. Make one, right? So you got 2/3 plus 1/3 equals 3/3, which is one nation. 2/3 of our people are going to die. That's why he said the least shall not fall upon the ground. Hip talk. But if you know, he already said 1/3 going to be saved. So that's the least compared to 2/3 that's going to die of our people. See, here it is. 2/3 right here. All the sinners of my people, who are the 2/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel, shall die by the sword, which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. So the evil, the Most High create the evil for the sinners. When you do wrong, he bring the evil upon you. The judgment, the wrath. But if you are righteous, then you have a Mashiach Yahushua and the holy angels to protect you. Choice you have. Choose life or death. Isaiah 47:10. You know, it's amazing how I look at, since I've been in this truth, how people can point the finger at the messenger, but not really hearing what the Most High is saying, and not realizing, come on, the truth is the truth, whether you like it or not. We had to eat it over and over again. When you read this Bible, I'm in Isaiah, we in captivity. 12 tribes of Israel, where y'all at? Other nations, I'm talking to you other nations, where y'all at? Where they at? They ran along with whoever's in power, but we in captivity here in Isaiah. Better understand this, people. This is our last time. Get it right. Isaiah 47 and 10. You gotta understand. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. See, they trust in their wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me, nobody see me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. See, the Most High allow you to think you all there with your wisdom and knowledge. It perverted you. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. So you just said in your mind, I am, and none else beside me. You said Caesar Borgia up. That white image of Jesus, your Jesus Christ. Come on. Thou hast said what? I am, and none beside me. Let's see who said that. Some making statements like, I'll prove it. Because they asked the Moshe Shai pertinent question concerning I am. Let's see what he said. First, we're going to look at St. John 8 and 53. This is what the Jews, the Israelites, asked him. They said, art thou greater than our father Abraham? They said, are you greater than our father Abraham, which is dead? And the prophets are dead, whom makest thou thyself? Who do you think you are? You know how you say that really in a minute. Who you think you are? So he answered them in verse 58. Mashiach said unto them, verily, verily, truly, truly, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am. Uh-oh. He said before Abraham was, I mean before Abraham was even born, I am. So when you look at Exodus, the 3rd chapter, the 2nd verse, the angel was speaking to Moses. You look at verse 14, he said, I am. Tell him I am have sent you. There ain't no little I, he ain't no little I am, he's I am. He's not the Most High, but he is I am. So I am that I am have sent you. Yeah, because we're Mashiachim. We belong to him. Ain't nobody ever dealt with the Most High. Most High said the heavens can't contain him. You serious? But man, mortal man gonna try and put himself with the Most High. Nah. He deal with us, with angels, spirits. Visions or dreams. Majority of the time. So, now, they said that I am. And most of our people of Israelites believe that that white image of Caesar Borgia is I am. As they said. They said that. That's why I go to Obadiah, 3rd chapter, right after Amos. Obadiah, the 3rd verse. See? The pride of thine heart, the pride of your mind have deceived thee. Who's he talking about? Thou that dwelleth in the clefts of the rock. Come on, who came from the caves? Caveman. Thou that dwelleth in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Say, habitation high, are they high skyscrapers in the sky? Most I say supposed to build 3 levels. That's it. 3 floors. in the law. Pride in their mind shall deceive them. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, because you got the space station out there, thence will I bring thee down, said the Most High. See? So, these are the things you're looking at, regardless of, you haven't been through it, they haven't been through it. That's prophecy. We prophesy about ourselves all the time. You read the Bible, let's talk about Israelites. He gave them 21 verses in the book of Obadiah. That's why you look at verse 1, the vision of Obadiah, thus said the Most High concerning Edom. You have heard a rumor from the Most High. So you know it's talking to Edom, through the prophet who was an Israelite, Obadiah, talking about them. So you want to know something about them? You just read Obadiah. He tell you about it. Because that's basically what the whole topic of the prophet Obadiah, that's what he's bringing concerning Edom. Isaiah 47 and 11. Since you done said I am and none else beside me, I'm the power and nobody else but me. That's what the Most High said, verse 11. Isaiah 47:11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it rises. You're going to know where it's coming from. And mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. You don't know where it's coming from. Why he say, stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Hey, say, go to your psychic readers and your astrologers and your prognosticators and everything else that you're dealing with, witches and so forth. Ask them. Say, stand now with thine enchantments. Stand now with them. He said, if so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. So thou hast wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and say thee from these things that shall come upon thee. See? Behold, they shall be as stubble eventually. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a cold or warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter. They're going back home. None shall save thee. They're going to be crying. That's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be wailing. Look. Go to Revelation 18. Verse 15. The merchants of these things, all the precious, costliness, profitable money that they receive from dealing with America, of these other nations, the merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour, it is, for in 1 hour, so great riches has come to naught. 1 hour, so great riches come to nothing. And every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off. That's what they're going to be doing, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? What city is like unto America? They're going to be crying. And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city America, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour is she made desolate. That's the judgment. That's judgment. That's coming. Just like the judgment came upon us, Israel. Over and over and over again. Captivity after captivity after captivity. For what? For not keeping the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High. 1 Kings 8 and 54. And it was so that when Solomon had made an end of praying all this prayer and supplication unto the Most High, crying to the Most High, he arose from before the altar of the Most High, from kneeling on his knees with his hands spread up to heaven. See, he's on his knees with his hands spread up. Got our hands up. That's how we pray. We don't pray like this and like this, or having our hands closed like they be showing you. You can't give nothing, you can't receive nothing with your hands like this. He had his hands up. That's how we pray, with our hands like this. So when people mock the fact of how we pray, you don't know, because you're so used to being taught by religions, keep your hands closed like this. We ain't do this. I don't know where that come from. Be a good research project for somebody to look up. We ain't pray like this, we pray like this, you see? With our hands up. As you see, from kneeling on his knees with his hands spread up to heaven. And he stood and blessed all the congregation of Israel, not every nation, with a loud voice, saying, so he blessed be the Most High, that hath given rest unto his people Israel, according to all that he promised. There have not failed one word of all his good promise, which he promised by the hand of Moses his servant. He promised, if we do what he say do, he gonna bless us. If you don't do it, he gonna curse us. That's just the way it is. So I'll praise the Most High that, he's brought in these last days the word of prophecy so that we can, come back together to him, look to him. That's why we look at the judgment, and it says, see, the Most High deal with nations. We're going to be judged individually, but he still deal with nations. Just like he dealt with us as a nation. It wasn't individuals. He dealt with us as a nation. And like y'all want to think, okay, well, it can't happen to me. Don't think like that. You better be trying to look at Genesis to Deuteronomy and come back to the Most High's laws. Everyone that can hear my voice. Look, this is what he done to his chosen people who he loved. He said he loved Jacob in Ezekiel 21, verse 1. The word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face toward Jerusalem, and drop thy word toward the holy places, and prophesy against the land of Israel. See? And say to the land of Israel. He's saying to the land of Israel, he's talking to the people that live in the land of Israel. That's the 12 tribes of Israel. Thus said the Most High, behold, I am against thee, and I will draw forth my sword out of its sheath, and will cut off from thee the righteous and the wicked. That's of his chosen people. So other nations, when he say he don't even know you, we think, oh, you got coming. He said, hey, this the righteous and the wicked. He cut off from the land of Israel. Saying then that I will cut off from thee the righteous and the wicked. See? That's nationality. That's dealing with nations. Therefore shall my sword go forth out of his sheath against all flesh from the south to the north, that all flesh may know that I, the Most High, have drawn forth my sword out of his sheath. It shall not return anymore. See? This what he done to we, his chosen people, the 12 tribes of Israel. They went into captivity. Man, he beat Judah, Benjamin, and Levi over and over again. When you're reading this Bible, we in captivity in Ezekiel 2. Jeremiah's in captivity, James in captivity, all of these captivity. See? So when you look at the judgment as it is written, when you look at Revelations 13 and 9, Revelation 13 and 9, last book of the Bible. Remember, I didn't write this. It said, if any man have an ear, let him hear. Everybody out there got ears, they hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. And the saints we know are the 12 tribes of Israel. Psalms 148:14 proves that all day long. It ain't going nowhere. Psalms 148:14 proves who the saints are, the 12 tribes of Israel. So that's the patience and the faith of the saints. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Let's look at Joel, the 3rd chapter. Just to give you a little bit. As I went over, lessons, you can type in the captivities of the Israelites. And I've been over the captivities that we went through, a lot of them. So Joel, the 3rd chapter, and let's look at the 4th verse. Then we're going to jump to 6th verse. It says, yeah, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon? These are coastal cities where the Hamites live, where the so-called Africans live. In all the coast of Palestine, the Palestinians are who? To this day, the Arabs, Ishmaelites. Will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head. This is what they did. Verse 6. Remember, he that lived in captivity shall go into captivity. It says, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, and all the other tribes that was with us, have you sold into the Grecians. Hear that? For what? They're going to captivity. And we know the Arabs, they the first one, Israelites were the first one sold by our forefather Joseph to Pharaoh and the Egyptians and so forth. See, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians, the Greeks, the Europeans, that ye might remove them far from their border. And we are removed far from our border. Verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people, bid it for his people. The children of Israel, the Hebrews, Israelites. And have given a boy for an harlot. That's what they looking at now. Gave a boy for a harlot. Solely for sex. You see that on Goodbye Uncle Tom. I suggest everybody look at that movie. Goodbye Uncle Tom. Dress little boys up with girls they can come in and choose one to have sex with. You see that? All the ones that came out saying that the Catholic priests had messed with them when they was little and so forth. That's prominent to this day. Scandals of, those in Hollywood right now, messing with the children and so forth, the kids. Listen, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. He that leadeth in captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. We just read that in Revelation 13, 9 and 10. He that hath an ear, let him hear. You see, so these are the things you're looking at, and I showed you how the righteous and the wicked of our whole nation went into captivity, slave and bondage. He was righteous and went into captivity for what the wicked done. So all you that think you're righteous, you still got to pay for what the wicked of your nation done, just like we did, as a chosen people of the Most High, as it is written. Isaiah 14 and 1. We couldn't escape, you're not escaping. Isaiah 14 and 1. For the Most High, who is the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, for the Most High will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. He will set us in our own land. And the strangers, these other nations, outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. They will be cleaving to us. When you see and understand the destruction that's going to happen in the end times, in the end of this world, yeah, they're going to be cleaving to us, as it is written. This ain't something we're making up. This is the future, this prophecy. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them, these strangers, these other nations, in the land of the Most High, for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors. So, it's just a matter of time. It's a change of the God, but it's going to be a righteous kingdom that we're going to live in. Ain't going to be no wicked kingdom like this. You can get rid of all the wicked people. And all you that want to be wicked and don't want to serve them, he's going to kill you too, as it is written. I mean, I'm saying it, but it's written. This is what's written. Whether you want to hear it or not. Isaiah 60. Isaiah 60 and 10. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. When my wrath I smote thee, and this wrath he smote us. But in my favor, like he said, you'll have mercy on Jacob and yet choose Israel. Have I